Alright. Who's in the mood for a fucking story time? Everybody knows that something wasn't quite right after the big meteor shower. I mean, come on. That's like the worst thing that could ever fucking happen besides Revelations and the whole shebang, you know? I still don't understand why they'd call something like that a fucking shower. I mean, only if fireballs were coming out of the fucking shower head could it be a fucking shower to me. Anyway, this is how that day all started and how it all changed my life forever in the years to come. Me and the boys were all hanging out in the alley shooting dice like we normally do before it all went down. There was me, Tommy, Louie, my cousin Vinny, and his girl Charlene. Tommy was just about to break us all when he rolled the dice and a loud screaming whistle echoed throughout the night, followed by several more after. All of us dropped everything, including all the money, and ran for our fucking lives. What are you, crazy? I know what you're thinking. So they left the fucking money? Hell yeah, we left the fucking money, you idiot. That's when you actually feel like your life is priceless. Any other time we're all heroes and the whole nine, you know. So we're all running for our lives when out of the blue a damn meteorite or whatever crashed into the building of one of the alleys we were running through. That's when it hit me. That deafening sound and that loud concussion. Right out of a fucking war movie or something like that. All I remember is us all running separate ways after the big explosion. My first instinct was to run toward the beach since it was literally like a football field's distance from where I was at. After running all the way down to the waterfront like an NFL receiver on a breakaway touchdown, all I remember is jumping off the dock so far into the water that I finally felt safe for a few seconds. I don't know what it was, but I immediately dove under the surface and swam as far as I could without coming up for air. At this point, I saw flashes over my head, and all of a sudden felt an impact in the water several yards from me. After getting the soul scared out of me, I instinctively swam up to the surface where the coast finally seemed all clear for once. I didn't see my friends for a few days as I was just eager to get home and make sure everything was okay with the family. After checking on the family and making sure everything was copacetic, I went to bed with serious fatigue and the worst headache a person could probably ever endure. Felt like 10 monkeys banging on pots and pan drum sets in there. It stayed like that for probably 4 or 5 days, I think. All I could do was lay in the bed and wait for it all to pass. By that following weekend, I was feeling much better and decided to get out of the bed after hearing a knock at the door. It was Charlene who came in and spoke to the family and me. She started to utter her words. Then came several tears streaming slowly down her face, and then more gradually as she then started in by saying, "I don't want to beat around the bush here, you guys." But during the meteor shower, there was an explosion that hit the building right next to us. Then she went on to say how her and Vinny tried to stay together, but after the explosion she lost sight of him, but had to keep running because that's what her mind and body was telling her to do. She said after all of the chaos had subsided, she went back to the spot where she and Vinny had gotten separated and saw that there was indeed a hand reaching out from underneath the rubble. She then called 911 from her cell phone and waited for them to arrive while holding Vinny's hand. After the first responders arrived, she was then instructed that she would have to leave while the cleanup crew was on the scene, and that she would be notified with the victim's family to come identify the body. She said she had just come from the morgue with Vinny's family, and that Vinny was gone. She said, "He's gone, you guys," with the tears flowing uncontrollably at this point. I was so enraged that I had to go outside, practically brushing past everyone in the room as quickly as I could. When I got outside, I was so engulfed in rage that my whole body turned piping hot, and I just remember seeing red. So red that the whole upper half of my body burst into red flames, lighting up the whole street corner. The flames began to burn so deep that I could feel them literally shooting out of my eye sockets. Now, I don't know where the fuck you come from, but around here, we call that what it is: crazy shit. After getting myself together and calming back down, I decided to go in my room and lock myself in for a couple of more days. All I know is that since that day I've been really pissed off, and when I'm upset, there is nothing that can stop me from imposing my will. I hope this story didn't totally creep you the fuck out. If it did, maybe we won't ever see each other again.